Hey BoLS fans, AdamHarry back again with another BoLS unboxing, and today we have Warhammer 40k Apocalypse, the new mass battle system. This is a completely new game. It is a big divergent from the previous versions of Apocalypse. This is Apocalypse 3.0. It is its own game. Like Kill Team is separate from standard 40k, Apocalypse now is separate from standard 40k. It's a completely new thing. I'm pretty excited about it. There's some exciting stuff in this box and just a brand new rule set. We're going to be going through the contents of this box. Yeah, I'm just going to stop talking and dive on in. Alright, I got the contents unwrapped. This box opens kind of funky. Like, check that out from the side. Ooh, okay, here we go. So what's in the box? We've got a little advert for the Apocalypse book. Okay. We've got the field manual, which is plastic wrapped with some markers, which we're going to go through. We'll open that up here in a second. We've got dice. We've got some D6s, and more importantly, some D12s, which you're definitely going to need to play Apocalypse. We've got cards, and these are the command asset cards. I believe there are 300 command asset cards in this box, and there you have it. And then we've also got this nice vacuum form thing. I'm just going to pull this out to see if there's anything hidden. Nope. This will be for when you're done, you can organize all your cards. Let's go ahead and open up all the stuff. All right, so I've got the plastic wrap removed from the rule book here, the field manual, and the punch outs. We're going to check out these punch outs real quick. We've got small and large blast markers. We're going to have a lot of these. So there's 2 sheets of that, and then another sheet here. We've got your out of command, and damage markers here. There's 2 sides there. It's cool. And then another sheet of those, and then a final sheet. These are your order markers. So they're one side you can't tell, and then you flip them over, you can see what the actual orders are, and there you have it. So we've got the advanced order. We've got the aimed fire, and then the assault order. So lots of punch outs, ready to go, rearing to go. So that's what you need there. Then we've got the field manual, and this is pretty interesting. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We're going to talk about what's in the field manual. I'm not going to go page by page here, but your field manual is going to have all your special rules. The table of contents here, it's going to have everything you need to play. In terms of rules, obviously, you've got your missions as well, you've got your war zones, and then different armies, how to kind of build your armies and stuff like that. The grand muster. So we're gonna flip through this. Kind of talks about what is Apocalypse, why would you ever play Apocalypse? It's so you can play with all your toys. That's the real reason. Rules of war. Just gonna go through here. Some basics. It's full color, obviously. All the different rules of engagement that you're going to have here. There's a lot of different changes from Apocalypse to 40k. I'm not going to go over all of that, but some of the big ones are damage phase. Damage is applied at the end of the turn. There's a new action phase where you actually issue orders. You're going to be activating entire detachments at once. It's just a lot of really cool stuff like that. There's differences for terrain features. Targeting characters is different too. You can shoot at them, but if they're near a friendly unit, they get like obscured, so it's a -1 to hit them. Here's an example mission. This is just apocalyptic assault. Your standard stuff here: deployment, center line, 12 inches off the center line, and then just go nuts. You have your basic slay the warlord. Battle length ends when one player has no units left on the battlefield. Otherwise, the battle ends after the 5th turn has been completed. The victory conditions: the player who has the most victory points is the winner. Both players have the same victory points. The defender is the winner. And yeah, there's some extra victory conditions in there too. But it's a real basic scenario. They get more complicated if you want them to. But yeah, you're just basic throwdowns. Detachments are different. The way you get the detachment benefits, unlike 40k, there are no command points in this system. The command benefits are that if you fill the detachment with the prerequisite stuff, you get access to the unit abilities. which I'll flip over real fast just to show off a little bit. So these are the unit abilities, faction abilities that you can get. Not unit abilities, but faction abilities. So for example, we've seen the Astra Militarum one. This is Voice of Command. Astra Militarum units in this detachment can use the leadership characteristics of their commander instead of their own. That's a detachment-wide ability. So if you fill out like a battalion, which by the way, these are different than 40K. In 40K, the battalion detachment would have a, I think it's a, 2 to 3 HQ mandatory, and 3 to 6 troops, or 2 troops, or 3 troops, I forget. I think it's 2 troops. But yeah, this is actually a 3 to 6 minimum for your troops, for your battalion detachment. So they are different, and the HQ detachment is 0-3, so those are kind of optional. So again, very different, not very different, slightly different, let's say, than your 40K detachments, but same general layout. If you can field an army in 40K, you can certainly field an army for Apocalypse. What we don't really go over here is the point sizes for recommended games, but that's because you can kind of pick, I mean, it's whatever the heck you want to do. There's team games, battle royale, multi-table games, all this fun stuff you can do. Campaigns that lead up to an Apocalypse game. That's one of my favorite things to do, just to kind of tie a knot in there. There's more Apocalypse missions. As you can see, quite a few, and I'm flipping through pages. Mission generator, there's twists and sudden deaths, ruses, all this fun stuff. Yeah, different war zones that have different effects that are also included here. Yeah, it just keeps going. There's some example campaigns. There's Nemengas there, and just a lot of cool pictures. Yeah, the Grand Muster. Yeah, show off all your stuff. There's a really quick rules reference section for you. It gives you a breakdown for all the different markers that are important here, your pre-battle sequence and the turn sequence. So yeah, that is the field manual. The next thing I wanted to show off was some of the command assets here. These are going to be your command assets. They form a deck of 30 cards for your army. Depending on what you have in the army determines what kind of cards you can include. There are some generic ones that anybody can use, but there are some faction-specific ones you can include in your deck if you meet the prerequisites. For example, this card, the Heretic Astartes Psychic Power Warp Time. You can only include this card if your army includes at least one Heretic Astartes Psyker. So otherwise it's kind of a waste. But there's a ton of cards here. There are in total 300 cards in this box. They cover all the different factions. We're not going to go through all 300 cards because that would be ridiculous. There's one for Adeptus Mechanicus, Flesh Converts. But you get the idea. This is your deck that you're going to draw based on how many warlords you have on the table still fighting and any other special abilities. Typically you draw one card plus the number of warlords for each, one per detachment generally. Yeah, it's in general terms here. There are some warlords that allow you to draw extra cards. One thing I do want to mention real quick is GW is selling a separate product, which we'll go over later in a different video, the Command Assets deck. These are cards that are different than these cards. So this is another 100 cards that are not included in the official, the core Apocalypse box. These are different than those in the box, and it's additional 100 additional options and cards. Again, we're not going to go over them in this video, but I do want to call that out. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. And of course, the dice, we showed these off earlier, but hey, D12s. This might be the biggest bulk order of D12s I've seen in a board game / tabletop game, other than like polyhedral sets. So D12s are definitely used in this game, as well as D6s. But that's pretty much everything in the box for Apocalypse. Yeah, coming out in stores. Pre-order should be up for this June 29, 2019, and then be in the stores probably the week after. So that's everything in the box. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm AdamHarry from BoLS, signing off. Have a good one. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.